Today we will be learning about geometry in the Van Healy model. Geometry is a branch of mathematics that deals with questions of shape, size, relative positions of figures, and the properties of space. Today we're going to be looking at the different levels of the Van Healy model. They are labeled level 0 through 4. We are going to be focusing on levels 0 and 1. The model is sequential, which means it must go in order. Level 0 is visualization, level 1 is analysis, level 2 is informal deduction, and level 3 is deduction, and level 4 is rigor. To function at a higher level, students must have acquired skills of levels below it. Another key property is advancement, which means that progress from level to level depends more on the content and methods of instruction received and not the age. It does not matter if you are an adult or a student, you must learn level 0 before you can move on to level 1. And finally, mismatch. If the students are at level 1 and instruction is at a different level, then the desired learning and progress will not occur. So you cannot skip levels until the level below is mastered. The levels are 0 through 4, but we are focusing on levels 0 through 2. At level 0, visualization, students think about shapes and what they look like for the purpose of forming groups or of shapes that seem alike. For example, a child might say that a triangle looks like a mountain, a circle looks like a pancake, or a square looks like a box. Students should also be able to copy a shape, draw it, or construct it on a geoboard, and be able to separate shapes in categories of flat or solid. Students at level 1 are at the analysis level. Students are able to describe the attributes of shapes and compare and contrast them by finding similarities and differences between them. They should also be able to experiment with shapes to discover attributes and form new shapes. Think about shapes within shapes for the purpose of describing properties and measure distances and discovering attributes. For example, a child at the analysis level would be able to describe a parallelogram as having 4 sides with opposite sides parallel and congruent. Students at level 2 are at informal deduction. Students are thinking about the properties of shapes for the purpose of considering relationships among properties and classes of shapes. Children at this level are able to notice relationships within and between figures. For example, given the definition of a rectangle as a quadrilateral with right angles, a student can make statements like, all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. The first level we're going to be working on is visualization level 0. Students are required to sort these shapes into different groups based on their own decisions, which is a kindergarten level. Even though it is at a kindergarten level, it does not mean that every student is on this level. Say a student sorted these objects into these groups. They are based on color. You would know that the student is in the visualization stage because they are not focused on the properties of the object, just the colors. Say a student sorted these objects into groups based on whether an object was pointy or not. Well, these students would still be in the visualization stage because they are not looking at the specific attributes. The student in the visualization stage is just looking at the object and what it looks like the color and if an object has a pointy side. They are not looking at how many sides it has or if it's curvy or straight or if they form right angles. The second level we're looking at is analysis. Students are required to make a shape based on specific properties they are given, which is second grade. Students may not be on this level, though, if they have not mastered the level before this. Students need to build a shape that has 3 sides. Say a student drew that. This means they are at level 1 because they know that a property of a triangle is that they have 3 sides. Say a student drew a shape that looked like this. This means that they have not mastered this level yet because they don't know that a triangle has 3 straight sides. If I said students need to draw a shape that has 4 right angles, a student might draw this. Another student might draw this. Both of these students would be correct because each of these have 4 right angles. Students would draw a square and a rectangle because they know that a property of a square and a rectangle is that they have 4 right angles, which means they also have 4 straight sides. So today we learned about the Van Healy method and how to tell what level your student is at based on the vocabulary that they are using.